All right, Jacob with Elk Barn Outfitting. I'm back for another informational video. Today we're going to talk about zeroing our rifles and at what distance we do that at. I typically run two different types of zeros. The zero I like to run for a day optic with adjustable turrets is going to be a 100-yard zero. I can take that turret, whatever that ballistic calculator tells me to dial to, hold it on, squeeze it off, watch it hit. But if I'm going to run a thermal optic, even if it has ballistic compensation, or I'm going to run a day optic that has no adjustable turrets, when I say adjustable, I'm not going to be able to turn this thing and adjust for my fall of the bullet. So maybe it's just a straight duplex reticle, which is just a standard reticle, or it has no adjustments on the top. I'm going to try to get as much as I possibly can out of that rifle. So how do I do that? In the previous video, we established a profile for a 6 arc. We're going to get in our ballistic calculator and we're going to adjust our profile. All right, now we're back at our 6mm arc with our 80 VT bullet. We have a 100-yard zero right now. The bullet is going 30-20. Get the most out of this rifle without having to dial, without having to do any Kentucky windage. It is going to factor in everything for us to get as much as we possibly can. So I need you to think about the top and bottom side of a deer's vitals. That's typically about 10 inches. Or if we're talking about a coyote, that's going to be about 6 inches top to bottom. So looking at that, if we were aimed right in the center of that animal, we would have 5 inches on the top and 5 inches to the bottom of a deer, and then we'd have about 3 inches on a coyote. Looking at our profile here, we see we have a 6mm 80 grain bullet, 30-20. We got a G1 of 0.41. And our height over bore is 2.5 inches, and our zero is at 100 yards. If we go into our chart here, we see that we have a 100-yard zero. The drop in inches at 100 yards is exactly 0.0 inches, and I have it set for a wind. Let's just do let's take all the wind out of the equation to make life very simple. Okay. So now we have no wind factors into our deal, and we can look and see a very clean chart. So at 100 yards, we see we have zero, everything at 100 yards, and then we look, and remember we're talking about a coyote, we have 3 inches top to bottom. So if we look at 250 yards, if we scroll over from the 1, 2, 3, the fourth column from the left, we see negative 4.8 inches. That bullet is going to drop 4.8 inches at 250 yards. Well, we're leaving quite a bit on the table because if you look above it, that bullet is going to go 1.9 inches up in a parabolic curve, and then it's going to fall a little bit faster. So let's just see what happens if we adjust our zero out. So let's go back to our zero range, and let's go out to 200. Go back to our chart. And looking at, now we see we have a 200-yard zero with no wind, and look up above, we see 1.1 inches, 1 inch. All right, we got pretty good there. But now we got out a little bit past 250 yards. Still not optimal. We still got more. We're going to keep bumping this number out on our zero to see exactly how far we can stretch this. So let's go back, and let's just say 250 yards. Now we got a 250-yard zero. Look above now. We have 2.5 inches. The bullet is going to rise 2.5 inches, which is still under our 3-inch maximum of a coyote. And we're now out to 300 yards, pretty much 300 yards, 3.3 inches. So now we've gotten the absolute most out of this rifle that we possibly can without having to do any kind of Kentucky windage. We're holding on here and we're squeezing the trigger. I hope this helps somebody. And this is definitely a great tool for guys that don't want to fool and they want simple math. You ask me, why would I do this on a thermal that I do have ballistic compensation for? A lot of things happen quickly at night, and you're always searching for buttons on top of that thermal. So 95% of our shots are going to be under 300 yards. So why not set ourselves up for success, shoot these animals at 300 yards without having to hold off hair, and if one runs out there at 400 or 450 yards, take the time, range them a couple times, squeeze it off, use your ballistic calculator there. As long as you put everything into that ballistic calculator like it was supposed to inside the scope or inside of this phone, you'll get everything you need out of it. Remember, garbage in, garbage out. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.